My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Hey y'all, hi. Good morning. I just finished filming myself putting on this makeup look using the ALMA palette, which is a collaboration between Amy Loves Makeup here on YouTube, my sweet friend, and Amy Hearts Beauty, which is an indie brand. It has a really soft, creamy formula that's so fun to work with, and it's been really fun for me to experiment with it. It's pushed me outside of my comfort zone a little bit because it's very, very bright, this palette, and even though I'm drawn to the super rich, bright, especially the shiny and duochrome shadows in here, there isn't really anything grungy, and so it's just been fun. It's really pushed me to embrace kind of like a brighter side of the grungy eye look that I tend towards. So that's just all this video is. It's like a straightforward video of me putting on this look for the photo shoot. I also put on the rest of my makeup on camera, so you'll be able to see everything I did to get this look. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Hey y'all. All right, it's happening. I am so tired and my eyes are so puffy and I look like a little worm, but I'm going to put on a look for our photo shoot using the ALMA palette. I've had this for a little while now. Amy sent it to me as PR, which is really, really exciting. And the thing that has impressed me the most is the texture of the shadows. They're so soft and blendable, incredibly creamy, easy to work with, really tactily satisfying to work with. So let's go ahead and get started. I already have my eyes primed. I am going to start with Lovely all over the lid, which is this really beautiful, this is one of my favorite shadows in the palette. By the way, this palette sold out, but I think they are going to do a restock. And of course, if you end up deciding not to buy it or you end up missing it on the restock, you know, this is just a demonstration of how to make a look with colors like these. And I'm going to go in with Lovely, which is like it's like a brilliant blue purple kind of cranberry shifting glimmery duochrome. Really, really love that shadow. I'm going to zoom you in and pack it all over my lids. So as you can see, it is really, really rich when you pick it up on your finger, and then I feel like I was able to pack it into a really even and sheeny layer that has a lot of depth, but that doesn't feel like there's like 100 layers of pigment packed onto my eye. It's pretty amazing. The formula is really gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead with a little brush. I am actually going to take Bloom, this shade right here, on a little brush and like blend out the edges of that duochrome shade up towards my brows with that. Bloom is too dark for it to be kind of like that flesh tone transition shade. For me, that's not what that is, but that's fine with me. That's not what I want. I feel like what I more want is just to kind of muddy it up a little bit. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this eyeliner all over my waterline and my tightline. It's the Ardency In Mod Star eyeliner in gold, and it's kind of like a dirty, like gleamy gold. This was actually in the advent calendar package that I unwrapped today, and this is the only look I'm doing today because the photo shoot is like the main work that we're doing today. So I have to incorporate this into this look, and I do think that it will work really well. I need to sharpen it, and then we go ahead and pop that into my waterline, and I might actually bring it up kind of into my outer corner to form a base for shadow to stick to in the outer corner. Okay, so I sort of smudged it all over, and I even took the tip of the eyeliner and sort of drew with it on the skin underneath my waterline, like underneath my lower lashes, to put some pigment down there for things to grip to and to smudge out. I will say that I haven't used this in a long time and it is feeling a bit dry. It's kind of stiff and hard to work with. It might be not long for this world at the end of my advent calendar project. All right, I'm gonna go back in with more of Lovely, that original shade on the lids, and kind of like blow out and smudge out the shadow all around my eyes. So I am actually going to go in now with what I'm going to use as a deepening shade for this, which is that color Inspiration, the burgundy shade in here. I'm going to kind of show you how I've been using that shade to get some depth. So I'm taking Lover, which is this really shimmery, creamy, shifting kind of periwinkle shade, and I'm going to use it and probably some more of Lovely on the lid and the lash line, smudging out and blending out to blow out the look even further. Okay, I keep getting carried away and forgetting to check back in, but you might have seen me blending a little bit of the dark blue matte with the burgundy matte on the outer corner. That's the color Taurus, just to get it kind of to be darker, to blend them together. And it also makes it more purple because, you know, if you blend red and blue, you get purple. So it's gotten to kind of like a deep smoky purple on the outer corner, which is really working for me. And then I put more of the red back in to try to make it a little bit more red, but I think we've really gone full purple at this time. So I'm going to go into one of these gorgeous duochromes. I am going to go with Petal, which is the one in the middle right here on this side. Okay, so I actually ended up going in with Heavenly, which is one of these other duochromes. It's the one in the top corner. I ended up going with that on my brow bone because I wanted a little bit more of an icy color up there and a little bit less of like that warm red, but I do have that warmer one in my inner corner area. I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some mascara, and so when I come back, we'll be zoomed out, have the mascara on, and I'll finish up the rest of my face. All right, we're back, we're zoomed out, have on the mascara, and I feel like the look is looking pretty good, especially on the lower lash line with that eyeliner smudged out and a bunch of gunky mascara on my lower lashes. It has grungified it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put some primer on. Okay, so I don't really have a base product going right now, like a foundation or something. I have been using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, but when I use that for a photo shoot, I have to powder it. And I don't really want to powder today because I want to use the cream blush and cream highlighter combo that I've been really into, which is ColourPop Roosevelt and this Jelly Jelly highlighter from Holika Holika. So I am just going to go in with concealers. I think I'm mostly going to lean on the ColourPop Pretty Fresh and my Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I got this Benefit highlighter in a PR package. It's the one called Cookie that everyone's talking about. And I've noticed from using it a couple of times that unless I use a really sheer layer, like tapping it off, it has the potential to be very metallic, to have that like stripe of metallic sort of darkness on my face, which I don't like. So I am going in with a really sheer layer and I'm just gonna wash it and buff it over top of that whole concoction. Yeah, when used that way, it's very pretty. Okay, I've got to put my mole back on, I've got to put a lip on, I've got to fluff my brows up. I'm gonna go ahead and do all of that at once. Okay, all of that is done. I went with Lisa Eldridge Velvet Fawn for my lip color, and I did end up powdering a little teeny bit just around my nose, a little bit under my eyes, and on my chin, which tends to show the most texture, and a little bit on my forehead, which has some wrinkles. The powder helps to diffuse the light and obscure texture for photo shoots when I'm like under those flashing studio lights. So sometimes I go in with powder even though I feel like I didn't need it if this were like a daytime look, but for the photo shoots it will just help the pictures turn out better. So I used this Givenchy Prism Libre powder. That's what I've been using lately whenever I need to do that. This is really my only loose powder. And I did that, but I completely avoided powdering over any of the sheeny cream products that are on my face. So it was just like a judicious application of powder. I'm gonna go ahead and take my hair down and then just double check and make sure that everything's ready so that you can see kind of what the finished look will be for the photo shoot. Okay, so that's it. I feel like the jury is still out on whether my hair will be behaving itself today, but this is kind of the general measure of the thing for the photo shoot. I feel like for this palette, it's been really fun to be pushed outside of my comfort zone, which is not necessarily the bright colors, but the fact that it's any look with this is going to be pretty much all bright. So it's like there's like a bright purple as the smoking out shade, and then there's like a bright lighter purple in the inner corner and bright on the lid. There's no black, there's no brown, there's no like really deep muddy color. There's nothing muddy about it. So making full looks with nothing muddy, that's outside of my comfort zone. That's not usually what I do. And I really enjoyed making looks with this that kind of pushed me to go for something a little bit more editorial, but like in the other direction of what I usually go for. I think that going forward, I'll mostly be using this, I won't be using this as a companion palette, but I'll be using a companion palette when I use it. So the most natural thing to me would be to use mostly these shadows and then to use like one black or one brown or one gray or kind of like how I did with the eyeliner today. I think I'll really enjoy using it in that capacity because the shadows are so incredibly creamy and some of them are really multidimensional. They're fun to work with, and when I see this palette sitting there on my vanity, it's like I really want to get my fingers into it because it feels so satisfying to use. It feels kind of like finger painting. The sort of opposite that I didn't use, one of the colors that I really, really love, Roman, it's like the opposite of the color story that I used today, but it's a really, really amazing shadow. And I feel like that's one that I might be remembering very frequently of everything that's in here and kind of like reaching for this palette over and over again to get that shadow, because even though I do have a number of kind of interesting grungy greens and teals, I'm not sure that I have one that has quite this balance of colors. So that's really exciting, and I'm sure that I'll be using it more in the future. But for now, that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. Amy, thank you so much for sending me your palette. It's been really, really fun to work with it, and I'm really impressed by the formulas, and the color story is so you and just so like rich, and I don't know, it glows. It's really special. All right, everyone, thank you for watching, and don't forget to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.